Good morning. I still haven't figured out how to go live on YouTube. I'm gonna figure that out later on this afternoon, because I'm trying to get away from social media. It's a devil in itself. But I was in here in my house just talking to God. I was having a little conversation with God, and I broke out into a full sermon. I'm like, that's good, God. I was like, man, I'm low-key mad I wasn't, recording myself, because I was like, I started off talking to him, and then I just broke out into a sermon. I'm like, this is a word. Like, I feel like somebody could, probably benefit from it. God has just been, I'm telling you, when you walk with God and you're faithful, you better be ready. You better be ready, because he is a good father. I just have to say that, I was thinking that, when you walk with God, you're going to be blessed. I've always had God in my life. Let me just say that. But when you walk with God, you're going to be blessed. And I'm thinking blessed is in like getting things, like, be in a big house, I'm be in a big car, I'm never going to have to want for nothing. And it's just like the things that God has been blessing me with, you got to try them for yourself. But I say all that, because he had just, been revealing some things to me, who I should have around. And you gotta be keen. You gotta listen to their voice. If God say they gotta go, they gotta go. It don't matter how long they've been in your life. If you know that they bring up a disturbance, if you know, you gotta let them go. It's inevitable. It's for your health. If it was meant to stay, then God would have let it stay. You gotta let it go and everything with it, but you gotta heal. And that's where I'm coming from really today. Like, healing. It is essential that when somebody has hurt you, when someone has done something to cause harm to you, your psyche, to make you doubt your reality, to make you feel unworthy, you gotta deal with that. You gotta handle that. You can't just move on and be like, I don't care, on to the next. No, like, you have to admit that kind of struck a chord with me. That did something to me. And then look inside, and then you probably find some patterns there. Some patterns that's going to set you free. Some patterns that's going to set not only you free, but your entire family free. You'll notice that it wasn't just by coincidence that you ended up with somebody that does not respect your boundaries. You'll probably look at a pattern of boundaries not being respected in your mom's life, or your father's life, or your grandparents' life. And we want to break these generational curses. We want to be able to tear these things down. We say that the chains have fallen. We're free financially. We're free mentally. We're free. All of these things. But he gave us the key. You sure enough. But there's a lot that comes along with the key. It has some work that comes along with that key. Once you get the key, now you have the opportunity to look into your past. Open up your past, as painful as it may be. And do it with grace and humility. Factor in that hurt people. And they probably didn't have that evil in them unless some type of evil was done to them. It might not be to the severity in which you're thinking, but we got to have grace and we got to have humility, because without it, we can't expect for God to have grace upon us. We can't come to him and ask him to do anything for us unless we can forgive our enemies. And I know, like, this might sound crazy, but when I was talking to God, I was like, imagine what they're going through. Like, they have to deal with the reality of hurting a person that did absolutely nothing to them. They have to, you might feel like they don't have a conscience, but I promise you, God is dealing with those people. They losing sleep at night behind what they did to you. They are wrestling with this. And then even more so at the fact that you're still thriving. You're still prospering. You're still happy. It didn't break your spirits. You're still able to smile and be happy about life. That has to be a really tough reality. Like, that's why I can't do anything but pray for my enemies. One, pray that God have mercy on them, because I know that I've always came from a very pure and intentional place in my heart. So anything that was done to me outside of that, it came from malicious. It didn't come from God. It was evil, and that doesn't prosper, and although it may seem like they've gotten away with it, they haven't gotten away with anything. So that's why you have to extend grace. You gotta understand that those people did that for a reason. Somebody hurt them too, and probably a whole lot worse than what they're hurting you. And I know you like that. Those are my enemies. They did this to me. I don't care. But just imagine, take yourself out of the situation for a moment, and just imagine that this person is a total stranger, and that not only are they dealing with all of the demons that they have put on you, they dealing with all the demons that somebody else has put on them. Because at one point I would assume that a predator was a victim for them to have that type of mentality, So I just say today, in order for you to be able to open up the blessings and all of the things that God has for you, to have a little bit of his grace, well, more of his grace, because we get his grace every morning. He wakes us up. That's grace, because we're not worthy. We sin every day. But in order for you to be able to get the fullness of what God has for you and what he wants for you, you're going to have to extend some grace. You're going to have to forgive some people. You're going to have to be able to accept that they might not even be sorry and still forgive them anyway. You're going to have to bite that bitter pill and be okay with what is. And accept that it couldn't happen any differently. Because if it had, then you wouldn't be in the place of wholeness and healing that you're on your way to. Had they not done you the way that they done you, you wouldn't know what you know. And aren't you thankful that you know what you know? Because can't nobody take that from you. Until you learn the lesson, I assure you that it's going to repeat itself. It's going to come in a different form. So I pray that, that touched somebody and that you're able to forgive somebody, because when I give my testimony, y'all, and it's not even about, no man, like it's not even about no man. And that situation was terrible. But when I do give my testimony and you all are able to understand what I was able to forgive, what was done to me, and I'm able to love this person, from the depths of, love this person still to this day, you'll understand just why I'm about everything that God is about to give me. I deserve that. Y'all give some grace, give some humility, and be blessed.